Welcome back to Obviously Fight Talk, and if you're watching on YouTube, you will see a legend on the screen. If you're listening, you're about to find out. We are joined once again by the Pocket Rocket, Wayne McCullough. So Wayne, thanks again for taking the time to come back on to us here at Obviously Fight Talk.
No problem at all. Glad to be here.
Wayne, you were at the big show at the weekend, so first, before we delve into it, how did you find the experience in Vegas? Was it a little bit different considering the fight that it was?
It was different because, I've been at Conor's fights before and all the fans were in the arena usually singing and stuff, but this time, let's say 90% of the fans were outside because they weren't inside because of the ticket prices. Yeah. And inside was like more American people with the Irish flags, a few Irish people, but there was no singing going on during the fight, which is weird. As I say, they were all outside doing that instead because of the price of the tickets. And there was thousands of seats still vacant up at the Brad was like sitting around. I was walking for Sky and I could see the whole arena, and there was thousands of tickets unsold. I thought they would have dropped the prices and let people in, but they didn't. It was more like the Academy Awards, all the celebrities there, red carpet treatment, had the red carpet out with all the celebrities, and the real boxing fans didn't get in.
I noticed that they were doing that on the coverage. They were showing all the likes of your Jennifer Lopez and stuff, and even my wife, as she was watching comment, said there's no singing. Normally when Conor fights you'll hear the ole ole's or you'll never beat the Irish, but there didn't seem to be. But what was the actual atmosphere in Vegas like? Even though they didn't get in, was that atmosphere still there on the outside?
Yeah, well, I'd say it wasn't as big as his previous fights because I say there wasn't as many people came over, but there was still the singing going on outside the plaza at the T-Mobile Arena. So that was still going on, but I would love to have seen the guys get in. I think Vegas just got a little bit greedy when it came to ticket sales for this fight, and I said if they would have let them in to fill the seats, it would have been the best thing ever.
What about the rest of the card? Because from watching it on TV, it seemed like the atmosphere was a little bit dead because of the delays. And before the McGregor fight, they obviously delayed it because of the pay-per-view issue. What was it like during then? That there seemed to be like a 40-minute delay between the last two fights.
Yeah, well, I say that inside the arena wasn't really filled until the main card, the main two fights, and then all the big high rollers and celebrities come in. But there was some good undercard fights, and I say it was pretty dead. It was when Cleverly fought against Voodoo Jack, that was a good fight, and the place was empty.
Crazy.
It's unfortunate that, and then when the English girl fought, who they would call the Marshall, the Olympic girl, she thought there was probably two people there. You know what I mean? So it was really dead up until the point of the last two fights.
And again,
and
that's when I noticed when I said this isn't the normal crowd that would be attending this, because I know when the UFC's being here or even at Conor's fights, the arena is almost full for the first card. Now I always notice that with boxing, the arena tends to fill, apart from the proper VIP seats, your normal blue collar, dare I say, your working class guy, always it's like if you're paying that type of money, you want to see every fight on the card. But moving on to the actual event itself, the spectacle, what was your, I just want to let you take this and go where you want with it, because I know there's been so many opinions, critical, and then some people praising what Conor done and praising what Floyd done, but what was your initial thoughts on the fight itself, how it played out?
As I said before the fight, a lot of people were calling it a circus and not giving Conor a chance at all, but he's a world champion in a different sport, but it's still a combat sport where you're still hitting somebody. And with this fight, I said if Floyd gets old, then there could be trouble. And for me, Floyd from the first bell looked like he was old and wasn't as sharp. But say Conor, can't take it away from Conor. He Conor come out there and took the first round off a legend like Floyd Mayweather, and you do that against a champion like that, you put a bit of fear in him. And I thought he won the first 3 rounds clear. And Floyd, for me, couldn't get off. His speed was gone. His reflexes were gone. He get hit more in this fight, I thought, than he did his whole career. By a guy who's never fought a boxing fight. So you got to give Conor credit for that. And I had it up until the stoppage. I had it 5 rounds to 4 for Mayweather. So it was close.
From a technical perspective, what did you see? Did you see anything new from Conor? A lot of people were pointing out that he was using his jab way more than he'd use it in MMA. Was there anything technically you've seen from Conor that's different from his MMA fights?
Not really, because he came out there and he had his chin up as usual in his wide stance, but I think he maybe felt different wearing a pair of boxing boots to grip the canvas with the bare feet. But I say he was hitting Floyd with a jab, which nobody can ever do. But Floyd was coming forward for the first time probably in his career, and we haven't seen that from him either. So Floyd's not used to coming forward, and Floyd tried to use the excuse afterwards that no, he took chances coming forward. That's why he lost round. But I say to people, I came forward my whole career. You don't lose rounds coming forward. It's all about it slipping and blocking and rolling. But Conor, I say, just was throwing. He was busier. Conor was busier. He wasn't loading up with one shot, and it looked like he didn't have the punch power as a boxer because it's different. But he was landing combos and I say throwing 3 punches to every Floyd to one. So it was different, and I say I would love to have taught Conor for the fight like I talked before, because he did say in the middle rounds he got fatigued, but it happens. It's like running a marathon, and you got to learn how to cope with that in a fight. And with me, everybody knows the way I fought. I fought 100 punches a round or more and got stronger every round until the last round. So I could have taught him that.
What do you think, Wayne? Is it this Conor addressed this post-fight as well, that he thinks it's something almost mental, that when he's in the 4th and 5th round, he knows it's a 12-round fight, so he knows there's so many rounds to go, and it's almost like a mental fatigue hits him.
Yeah.
But like you, your whole career, you fought at a high pace. So what does Conor need to do to adjust, to be able to have a tanker and engine like yourself? What does he need to do mentally and physically to not fall into that trap anymore?
Well, physically he's got to do a little bit different in the training to adjust that, and then mentally it's a mental game too. As I say, it's like a marathon runner. When they hit the wall, they got to get over the wall or fall apart. And a lot of boxers do fall apart, and Conor sort of fell apart in this fight with the conditioning part. He was just exhausted, and he was getting hit with a straight right hand from Floyd, and getting his head knocked right back. He couldn't get out of the way, and we all know Floyd's not a big puncher, but maybe with the boxing gloves on against an MMA fighter, he can be. But he was just teeing off like right hands. Wasn't throwing his left hook or his left jabs, and he mentioned that afterwards that he hadn't sparred for the last month, so he didn't make excuses. But I think he hurt his left hand a month before, because if you don't spar a month before, there's something going on.
And what's your thoughts?
Floyd always sparred. I think he always did spar.
And what's your thoughts on the scorecards? I'm not sure if you've seen them, but you said that you thought Conor won 3 rounds, and scorecards come out, and a lot of people are a little bit confused that the judges didn't give him, or 2 judges didn't give him the 2nd or the 3rd. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I give him the first 3, and then I give him another one. So it was going into the 10th to say I had 5 rounds to 4 for Floyd, and Conor thought it was close. Well, he thought it was 5 rounds to 4 for himself, but I think one judge had Floyd winning all like 9 of the, or 8 of 9 rounds or whatever.
The only round one judge gave him was the 1st.
If you can't give him the first 3 rounds, there's something wrong. No, it was clear to me. It was definitely clear that he won. The guy beside me was a journalist too. He was actually sitting and thinking he won the first 3 rounds as well. A lot of people give him the first 3 rounds and he didn't give him any more after that. But I can't see how they can give Floyd the 2nd or 3rd round. I can't see that. But then you're in Vegas, Floyd Mayweather territory.
I was agreeing with you. When I was sitting at home, I was like, Jesus, Conor's 3 up here now. We had I'm not too sure if you know Eric Kelly. He's out in New York. He's a boxing coach out in New York. But Eric was saying to us, don't be surprised if Conor gets a couple of rounds, and then because Floyd will basically download everything Conor shows him, and Floyd is a 6-round fighter. From the 6th round, he then kicks in. It sort of went that way, but I think it was either the 7th or the 8th that I would have scored to Conor as well.
I think it was,
He came back. He made reference to where he had a lull, and he came back. But something I want to ask you as well, Wayne, is when we spoke to you last time, you were saying you'd reached out to the McGregor team because you had a plan or a tactic to beat Mayweather. Did they incorporate anything that you would have had in that tactic, or what would you advise Conor to have done if you were in that camp?
No, he didn't. He definitely didn't. He came out and I thought he threw a couple of body shots, but you got to be like a bit closer, not too close. Not like if Floyd came forward like he said he would do. So if Floyd said that and he did it, he's playing into your game plan. I mean, if you stood there in the centre of the ring, just hold the centre of the ring, and just touch, but be quicker, going to bring the punch over the top with a lot of force behind him. And I say he kind of wasn't doing it. He was for me, kind of was just like throwing 4 or 5 punches, like pitter patter punches, just trying to land punches on Floyd. And say if Floyd's coming forward, he's a lot easier to hit. But Floyd coming forward still shouldn't have lost the rounds, which he did. Clearly, I thought I'd say the first 3, but he's given rounds away, and if you give round 1 away, round 2 away, round 3 away, Floyd would panic, but he didn't. He wasn't panicking, but it kind of looked like he was on his way to maybe a points win or something. But Floyd never gives rounds away.
Yeah,
he fought over 20 world champions. He doesn't like giving rounds away. You know what I mean? So that's his style of fighting. And as I say, with Conor winning the rounds early on, it's a mind game too.
You spoke about the stoppage. You said it was a little bit early. Do you think that the fact that he was an MMA fighter, he wasn't a boxer, and they brought down the gloves from 10 ounce to 8 ounce, maybe the referee was looking at it like, okay, we need to make sure we protect these guys in here because of that decision? Or do you think that maybe the referee, doesn't matter if it was a boxer, he would have stopped it anyway?
No, Robert Byrd's a good referee, but I think he was cautious, a really cautious man. For me to stop fights like real early because fighters were getting hurt and stuff. But he was getting caught with the straight right hand from Floyd over and over, and his head was being knocked back. But it looked worse because he was so tired. You know what I mean? As you said, he got tired, then he gets stronger in the 7th round again, but then he got tired again.
Yeah.
So it was weird the way he did that. Usually you get tired once and you go through it. But as I say, if I'm a referee, I would have given him a standing 8 count because the ropes almost held him up. If the ropes hold you up, it's usually a knockdown where they can give you the standing 8 count. If you're in the centre ring and get hurt like that, they just stop the fight. But if the ropes are holding you up, then give him the account, give him another shot, and then stop it. We can all say he could have get through it or not, but he had almost like 2 minutes, and I think it would have been hard for him to get through it. But I'm with Conor. Go out in your shield. You know what I mean? You want to fight to the end, and that's what he should have got that chance.
When the coverage of it, the MMA world seemed to give it a lot more, I'd nearly say legitimate coverage, while the boxing world were more so. This is they went from the opinion of, the perfect example is Carl Froch.
Yeah.
He had said he won't land the glove on him. This was Carl Froch's statement before it. He will not land the glove on Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor landed 111 significant shots in the fight. That's 20 plus than Pacquiao managed to land. But yet Carl Froch said after the fight he wasn't impressed with Conor McGregor. So he went from not landing a punch in the fight to landing 111, and Carl Froch was still not impressed by Conor McGregor. And Tony Bellew he sort of sided on stick to your sport, but he said that Conor's boxing was horrendous. So these were working on the Sky broadcast for people in the UK here. So the harsh words from the boxing world, would you echo these words, or do you think that the lads need to rein it in a little and stop being so biased towards their sport?
I know Carl Froch well. I met Tony Bellew at the fight, but I know I was up there doing a bit for Sky, but they didn't use me on fight night, and I'm happy they brought me up, really am, but I can't see why they didn't use me for the fight because of Murray's.
It's insane.
Yeah,
I know Conor. I know Floyd for 20 years. I spar with him. I was the only person who was relevant. I'm not crying here. I'm just saying I'm the only person relevant to the fight, the 2 fighters, and they didn't use me because I think I did an interview on the Wednesday. I came up there on the Wednesday and I gave my prediction that Floyd gets old, Conor wins the fight. Maybe it didn't go down too well, but I can't understand they're saying this is atrocious, this, that and the other. He won rounds against a guy who was the best fighter on the planet. How can they even say that?
Yeah,
I didn't see the broadcast of what they were saying. I'm totally lost because Conor put up a great performance.
I found Froch during the commentary, he turned very quick. I think it was as soon as the 4th round, he started going, this fight isn't going to last much longer. Here comes Floyd. And it was quite biased. Now, maybe I'm a bit defensive because he's talking about Conor, but I thought it was very biased. But I just thought it was.
If I'd have been on the air with them commentating, I'd have spoke the truth, so maybe that's why they didn't want me on the air. I think a commentator should speak the truth.
Yeah.
And I spoke the truth at the pre-interview they did with me, and as I say, after that on the Thursday and Friday, and I didn't even at the weigh-in, I was standing there, and Floyd comes up on the stage with Sky TV, and if he's talking away to me, And so I don't really see why they didn't use me. I was relevant to both guys. Maybe because I was going to be honest, which a broadcaster should be, because you don't want to sway people one side. The people who you sway back and forth are the ones who don't know much about boxing or MMA. And as you say, most of the people in the arena that night were them people. They probably said it was a mismatch. This guy didn't belong in the ring. Conor didn't win a round. That is a load of garbage. He put up the first I seen Conor afterwards. He was with the bunch of the media, and I tried to get close. And I said, Conor, that was great. And he said, hey, Wayne.
Oh,
he was too busy with all the fans.
Yeah,
and I said that in front of the media guy. I said, you did great. You know what I mean? So I'm not scared to say it. I'm not because I'm Irish. He did what he had to do in there against a guy who was past his sell-by date, but he did what he had to do, and he looked good doing it.
Without trying to bash boxing, because you're a former boxer, you're a boxing guy, and without trying to bash Sky Sports, do you think there might have been some kind of agenda trying to, big up boxing in this one? Because they had Dan Hardy on the broadcast too. They asked him maybe one or two questions. He didn't really speak through the whole thing. They could have used yourself, who, you've trained a little bit of MMA, you know MMA, you know Conor, and you know boxing, obviously. Do you think
for the EFD?
Yeah. So do you think that maybe there was a little bit of, let's not really give Conor or MMA that light. Let's try keep it. Boxing is the sport that we cover.
I'm still trying to figure out what you just said a minute ago, because of what they said about Conor.
Yeah.
I can't get that in my head. But I don't know. They're trying to think, boxing this, boxing that against MMA. It was a boxing fight.
Yeah.
And you got to look at the guy. You got to look at both guys. Floyd, wasn't on his A game, but Conor's fighting in the box ring for the first time against the pound for pound best fighter of 2 years ago, and probably one of the best top 10 fighters in the world ever. And then they badmouth him again. And I'm not ditching Sky TV. I love Sky TV, of course, and Adam Smith and stuff, but I don't still understand how they can get away with that on the air.
Yeah. I will say, Tony Bellew afterwards, when he was saying, he said that he felt Floyd could have finished that in the first, that he carried Conor through the fight. But then he also said, don't be fooled though, if this was in an octagon, Floyd wouldn't get out of the first minute. So he did say that.
Yeah, but Floyd didn't carry him. He didn't carry him. Tony's a great guy. I love Tony.
Yeah.
But he didn't carry him. Floyd was. If they look at the reality of this, Floyd came out. If you can study people. For me, he looked off. He was out for 2 years. He's older. He looked off. His sharpness was gone. His distance was gone, and he was coming forward. So he was coming forward. He usually goes backwards. Then he's going to expose himself for getting hit more punches, which he did. So he couldn't have finished Conor in the first round. There's no way he could have. Didn't even come close. He got hit with that uppercut in the early rounds, and they took his head off.
Would you like to see Conor box again?
Conor? Yeah, well, they talk about Paulie.
Yeah.
I know Paulie. Conor beats Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah.
That's the truth. He beat him. And I'll be bad mouth after this, but Paulie for me was never a Floyd Mayweather style, but wasn't nowhere near as good as Floyd, of course. And he's done. You know what I mean? He's done. He wasn't in shape, as you see with Conor. At time he's getting hit over and over, and I think Conor would maybe hurt him.
Do you think, based on McGregor's MMA career, the way he's kind of made huge improvements fight on fight, do you think if he does fight in boxing again, we'd see a really improved boxer?
I could, yeah. It comes to me. No, Conor, the boxing part of the will help him anyway, because I think boxing and MMA is really important. If you can stay on your feet, you've got a better chance. And instead of being on, Conor's always been better on his feet in MMA.
Yeah.
He's knocked guys out on the ground. You see, he get choked out with Duffy, the guy back in the day, the Irish guy. Then, of course, with Diaz. So I think Conor's better being on his feet and being more like agile and staying away from being took down. And I say, even though Conor didn't fight a boxing fight again, I'd still like to teach him professional boxing for MMA, because I did with the UFC guys. I did some of that with them when I was working for them, and I understand the difference between boxing for MMA and boxing for boxing, and I can still teach them that for sure.
overall, the event, though, Wayne, do you think it was a winner for both Conor, Floyd, boxing and MMA? Do you think everybody won in this?
Well, I think Floyd Mayweather was the one who won the most. They said it did bigger pay-per-view value than Pacquiao, and the ticket sales in the arena. There wasn't as many people there, but because of the prices, they made more money.
Yeah.
I think TMT Production, they were the ones who made the most money here and won the most. Conor was in a win-win situation from day one with the money-wise. But as I say, he won because he went in there and put up a good performance, like Conor did. And most people were expecting Floyd to go out and blast him out and make him look, say, like I said the other day, blast him out in 2 rounds, drop the mic and walk away. Didn't happen. And Conor stayed in the fight. And I don't care if Conor's a professional athlete anyway. And if you put any athlete in there who's a combat sport, he still knows how to fight. No, it's like a street fight. You know how to fight. You hit somebody. That's what you do in a street fight. You try to hit them. And with boxing, you try to hit them. MMA, you try to hit them. And Conor did his proud. He did his really proud. He really did. And he fought the best fighter on the planet of 2 years ago.
This is something that I always find it's almost like in our people's nature, Wayne, when somebody is at the top and they try to do something like when you put the true process of what he's actually done. For like 4.5 years ago, Conor was on the dole. Do you know what I mean? He was unemployed, fighting out of Cage Warriors, and now he just took part in one of the biggest spectacles in combat sports of all time. But yet, I'm sure you've seen it, social media, even the boxing world, the MMA world, fellow MMA fighters are putting them down, are jeering them, are slagging them. Former opponents, Jose Aldo was putting out laughy faces when the fight ended. And these are the start. What Conor McGregor has done for young people as a role model. Like I grew up I was born in 1980, so I grew up in the 90s. Yourself and Michael Carruth were my role models growing up. Yous were the guys that we look to go, that's the pinnacle where we can be. And the young people today are growing up looking at what they can be and looking at Conor McGregor. I just find we put people down and tear them down. And we need to stop doing that and appreciate what this young man from Dublin, Crumlin has done. It's just
build them up, knock them down.
That's it. I'm sure you.
With me, I went after the Olympics, up until the Olympics, I was unemployed too. Unemployed, and then 2 years and 5 months of turning pro. I was WBC champion of the world. You know what I mean? And Conor's same path. He was. Do you think he wants to be unemployed? No, he didn't want to be unemployed.
No.
But he's champion of the world. A couple of years, making all the money, and people should give credit for that. And that should be like a way out for some people who are struggling, and have maybe somebody who's never tried something before, like sport-wise. They could say, maybe I'll try that. Maybe they're good at it, and maybe it's a way for them to go out and make a living instead of knocking us down. You know what I mean? And saying, oh, he's making all that money, he didn't deserve it, this, that, and the other, and what he deserved it because he get in there and fought somebody. But I say we have a good knack of doing that, bringing you up, knocking you down, and it's not everybody, but it's only certain groups of people who do that. It's not everybody. People, I say that you get fans. As you say, you were following me and Michael Carruth. You get fans throughout your career who'll always remember you no matter what. And then you get the fans who are wishy-washy who support Liverpool one week and support Man United the next week.
Glory hunters. Yeah, bandwagon fans. That's it. But listen, Wayne, it's been an absolute joy again talking to you. Just getting your thoughts on the fight. I can't thank you enough again for taking the time to come on to us here.
Anytime, and you know what? Just want to say to everybody out there, Conor McGregor did the whole country proud. He really did. He fought to the end. He fought with this. He said he wanted to go out in the Shield. He fought with the Shield. He fought there. And the best fighter of our time, one of the best fighters of our time, could have been top 3 best fighter of all time. So Conor has nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody should look up and say, wow, I can try that too. Conor is a role model. And he's brilliant. I love him. 100%. Sorry, I love him.
100%. No, that's well perfect. Said. Listen, well said. Best way to finish it up. Thanks a million, Wayne. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. Take care. Bye-bye. There you are. The Pocket Rocket, Wayne McCullough.